Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Krista with another TRX for Yoga experience. Today's peak of the flow is TRX wheel. So we're going to put a flow together to open up the body in such a way that makes wheel more accessible. Now what I want you to know is that wheel is a back bend, but a back bend has nothing to do with folding your body backwards, especially not into that spine. You want to create a nice opening arc in your body. The focus is on opening up the front side of the body. So as we create our flow, I want you to pay attention and really focus on opening up your hip flexors, chest, and shoulders. Do what your body feels comfortable with today. Know that you can come back to this flow as many times as you want to, and you can track how you get better, and wheel becomes more accessible for you. Let's have some fun. Let's begin with our warm-up. Please stand facing your anchor point. Make sure your suspension trainer is fully shortened. Place your hands into the foot cradles, thumbs to the outside, and begin to walk towards the back edge of your mat. You want your hands at about waist height. Press down into your hands and lift up through the crown of your head. Separate those collarbones. Bring your big toes to touch, heels in line with your middle toes. Your feet are welcome to hips width apart if that creates discomfort in your low back. Spin your thumbs up to the ceiling. Slowly pull your hands away from one another and reach your arms up overhead. If this creates slack in your suspension trainer, I want you to walk backwards a little bit more. Pull your hands backwards into the straps, creating tension, and you're standing straight up, your wrists over shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. Slowly return your hands back down to the starting position and rotate your palms to face the floor, ground down into your hands. Now we're going to put together our warm-up, the Vinyasa flow. Extended mountain, pose 1. Softness behind your knees. Forward fold is pose 2. Hinge at your hips and extend your arms towards the anchor point. Look down towards the ground. Halfway lift, pose 3. Drag your hands into your body and lift your chest up to about a 45-degree angle away from the floor. Forward fold, anchor your heels into the floor and hinge. That's the final pose. Now let's put them together with breath. Extended mountain, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold and breathe out. Extended mountain, pull to rise, separate your collarbones. Forward fold, anchor your heels into the floor. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. 2 more, extended mountain. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain, pull with your hands. Forward fold, push. Halfway lift, you pull. Forward fold, push. Press into your hands, slowly stand all the way up. TRX dancer variation. Place the foot cradles into your left hand. Bring your right arm by your side. Spin your right thumb away from your body, externally rotating your upper arm bone in the shoulder socket. Balance on your left foot. Bend your right knee. Grab the inside of your right ankle with your right hand. If that's not accessible, you have shoulder tightness, grab the outside of that ankle. But aim for that external rotation in the shoulder. Square your hips and shoulders to the anchor point. Press down into that left hand, creating that halfway lift action. Lift the chest up. Allow your hips to hinge as you kick your upper shin to the wall behind you. The more you kick your upper shin back, the more I want you to roll your right shoulder forward. Get that nice stretch through the chest. Hip bone slide up to belly button. Use the straps to lift the sternum away from the tailbone. Take 1 more deep breath in. Right foot to the floor. Stand up. Let's switch sides. Place the foot cradles into your right hand. Left arm by your side. Spin your left thumb away from your body. Externally rotate. Left upper arm bone and shoulder socket. Bend your left knee. Grab your left inner ankle. Square your shoulders and hips towards that anchor point. Softness through your standing knee. Perhaps this is enough today. Otherwise, you can start to hinge. Kick your upper shin to the wall behind you as you lean your chest forward. Now your right hand in the straps lifts the chest up. You're not leaning forward to the floor. You're leaning forward towards the sky. Left shoulder draws forward as you kick your upper shin back. Take one more deep breath in, foot to floor. One more time per side. Take those foot cradles into the left hand, right arm by your side. Spin your right thumb away from your body. Balance on your left foot. Grab the inside of your right ankle with your right hand. Thumb to the arch of your foot. Knees or hips width apart. Begin to hinge. Now, here's that arc in the body. This is a back bend, but you're not folding into your spine. I want you to think about lengthening the space between your vertebrae. As you square your shoulders and hips to the anchor point, use your left hand in the straps to draw your chest away from your hips. And now soften your standing knee to slide your hip bones up to the belly button. Feel more space in your low back. Take one more deep breath in, foot to floor, switch sides, right hand into those foot cradles, left arm by your side. Spin your left thumb away from your body, grab the inside of your left ankle. Soften your standing knee, kick through your upper shin and hinge. Hip bones, slide them up to the belly button. Use your right hand to pull your sternum away from your tailbone. Square your hips and shoulders to that anchor point and breathe. Kick back and up one more time. Take a deep breath in, foot to floor. Let's Vinyasa, clear that away. One hand per foot cradle. Extended mountain, breathe in. If there's slack, you move back. Forward fold, hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Press into your hands, slowly stand up. Bring your suspension trainer into single handle mode. You're gonna hold the handles one on top of the other. If you need a tutorial, go to trxtraining.com to assist you. You're gonna thread the bottom handle through the top triangle 2 to 3 times. Make sure your suspension trainer is in that single handle mode. Once you grab onto that top handle, give it a good tug. You should see that Mario and Luigi's mustache, right? Is threading the straps through and walk underneath your anchor point. One handle should be longer than the other. That's the handle you want. Bring your straps down to mid-calf length. Pinch the clips in with your thumbs or brace the D-rings and pull the longer of the 2 handles below your kneecap so that the foot cradle comes down to mid-calf length. Standing facing your anchor point, slide your right foot into the longer of the 2 foot cradles. Hands come to the straps at about nose height. You want to be standing directly behind your anchor point. Lift up onto the ball of your standing foot. We have our standing roll out splits. The objective here is you want to keep that nice neutral pelvis. Press down into both feet. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Take your test run. Press into your right foot and start to roll yourself forward. Now the objective here is not to straighten your legs. Keep your knees soft. Keep them unlocked, but pull your hip bones up to the belly button and use your hands to help lift your chest away from your hips. Ground down into your feet and pull yourself back. Stay on the ball of your standing foot. If you are getting pulled to the right, I want you to move your standing foot to the right and vice versa until you feel like you're nice and stable on a track. Let's move with breath. Inhale, roll out. Exhale, squeeze yourself back. Use your leg muscles, grow an inch through the crown of your head. 3 more. Inhale, roll out. Exhale, pull yourself back. Inhale, push through your feet. Hip bones slide up to belly button. Exhale, draw yourself back. Last one. Inhale, roll out. This time you hold. Press into your feet. Lift your sternum away from the tailbone. Lift your whole body higher. Option, separate those collarbones and look up. Open up through the chest. Start to create a baby back bend. Option to reach your left arm to the ceiling and you go up and back for 5. Press into those feet more. 4, open up the front side of that body. 3, 2, hands to the straps, press into your right foot and pull yourself back. Turn side facing your anchor point. Bring your hands down to the ground and carefully come down to your left knee. Side plank variation. Reach your arms to the ceiling, create a nice neutral pelvis. Bring your left hand to the ground to the outside of your left thigh. Reach your right arm up and over. This is a bit of reprieve. Feel that nice side body stretch. Press down into your right foot like you're gonna lift your whole body off the floor. Reach your upper hand away from the anchor point and roll the middle of your chest open towards the ceiling. Take another deep breath in. Slowly come down to your hands and knees, facing away from your anchor point. Step your left foot to your left hand. Half kneeling position. Take your left hand on top of your left knee, right hand on top of that, and push your left knee over your left ankle. Using your hands, now track your shoulders backwards over your hips. Hip bones slide up to belly button. Search for that stretch down that right hip flexor. As you lean into your front foot, that will help you lift up out of that low back. Keep pressing into both feet though. Option to intensify the stretch, reach your right arm straight up to the ceiling. By pressing into that front foot, you reach your right hand high and maybe you can go back. Option to reach back and grab those straps. Use your hand on the straps to help lift your chest up higher. 5, 4, breathe, search for that deep hip flexor stretch. 3, lift your chest a little higher. 2, release the straps. Bring your hands down to the ground. Both knees down to the ground. Slide your right foot out of the foot cradles. Slowly stand up. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. Stand facing your anchor point. Take your left foot into the same longer of the 2 foot cradles. Super important because you're further locking your straps into single handle mode. Stand directly behind your anchor point, hands at about nose height for your standing rollout splits. Lift up onto the ball of your standing foot. Both knees are soft. Ground down into your feet and slowly begin to roll out. Pause. If you feel like you're getting tugged to the right or left, remember to move in the direction you're being tugged in until you feel like you're on a track in that straight line, nice and centered. Ground down into your feet and pull yourself back. I want you to use your leg muscles, engage them through the whole thing. Let's move with breath. Keep those knees unlocked. Inhale, roll out, push through your feet. Exhale, pull. Crown of your head lifts to the ceiling. Stay nice and tall. Inhale, roll out. Exhale, draw yourself back. You have 3 more. Inhale, push yourself out. Keep those knees soft, but reach further. Exhale, pull back. Separate those collarbones. Inhale, roll out. Exhale, back. Oh, you have 1 more. You go. Inhale, roll out. This time you hold. Start to create that baby back bend. Use your hands, lift your chest up. Separate those collarbones, look up. Option to reach your right arm up and back for 5. Press into your feet. 4, lift your whole body more. 3, 2, hands to the straps. Pull yourself back to your starting position. Turn side facing your anchor point. Carefully come down, hands down to the ground, and come onto your right knee. Side plank variation. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Drop your right hand to the outside of your right thigh. Reach your left arm up and over. Press down into that left foot like you're gonna lift your whole body off the ground. Tuck your bottom hip under. Roll your top hip back. Spin the middle of your chest open to the ceiling. Search for that nice side body stretch. 1 more deep breath in. Slowly come down to your hands and knees facing away from the anchor point. Step your right foot to your right hand, half kneeling position. Take your right hand on top of your right knee. Left hand on top of that, stack your shoulders over your hips. Lean into that front foot like you're gonna stand up on it. Also press into the top of your back foot. No slack in the straps. Create that neutral pelvis. Tilt your hip bones up towards the belly button. Draw your shoulders together onto your back. Option to intensify the stretch. Reach your left arm to the sky. Press off of your front foot to maybe go up and back with that left arm. The straps may be there behind you. If they're there, you can grab on. Keep pressing down into that back foot, but use your left hand to lift your chest up out of that pelvis. Deepen the stretch through the left hip flexor for 5. Shoulder blades together. 4, lean into that front foot more. 3, breathe your breath. 2, slowly release. Hands down to the ground. Both knees down to the ground. Remove your foot from the foot cradles. Slowly make your way to a standing position. And now you're ready. Let's create wheel. Stand facing your anchor point. You have just successfully locked your suspension trainer into single handle mode for safety. Bring the suspension trainer behind you and wrap it around you as you would a jacket around your waist. Begin to walk backwards so there's no slack in your straps. Very specific placement. I want you to place the suspension trainer at your mid-waist, right below your floating ribs, not near the tailbone and not under the shoulder blades, but mid-waist, right underneath those floating ribs, and lean back. Your hands are going to come right above the cam buckles or D-rings. Be careful not to lengthen your straps anymore. You want your elbows bent and hugged in towards the body. Draw your elbows behind you and feel your shoulder blades hug together. Slowly walk your feet forward just a little so you're at a slight angle, and push your knees forward over your heels. Feet flat on the floor, parallel to each other. Really use your hands now and lift your sternum away from the tailbone. Slide your shoulder blades together and push your knees forward over your ankles. Repeat that as you walk your feet towards the anchor point. Pull the sternum away from the tailbone, separate the collarbones, and walk your feet forward until you can ease your body over the straps, push your knees forward over your heels, and maybe look down to the ground. Create wheel variation number 1. Keep your hands on the straps as a way to lengthen through the vertebrae. I want you to think of a physio ball. Imagine that big physio ball is in the small of your back and you have to arc up and over it. Slowly press into your feet. Pull with your hands, chin to chest. Stand all the way up. Take a clearing breath in and out. We're going to do 2 more. Option to bring your hands down to the ground. The more you walk forward under your anchor point, the closer the floor will come to you. Optional. What I want you to do is take a peek at your feet. Make sure they're facing 12 and a clock. As soon as you walk forward, your feet are going to face away from one another. Let's call it duck-footed. But I want you to keep your feet facing 12 and a clock, facing forward, and that might actually make you feel like you're pigeon-toed. But feet at 12 o'clock will keep that SI joint nice and safe. All right, here we go. Imagine that physio ball behind you. You're going to arc up and over it. Use your hands to lift the chest as you walk your feet forward. Lean into the straps. Pull your sternum away from the tailbone. Separate your collarbone, shoulder blades together. Push your knees forward. There's that physio ball behind you. Up and over. Up and over now. Keep walking forward. Keep walking forward. Feet probably are underneath that anchor point. Feel a little pigeon-toed, so your feet are flat on the floor, parallel to each other. Hips width apart. Option to reach one hand down to the ground. Fingertips face the heels. You can stay with one hand, or you can reach both hands to the ground. If you're staying with one hand, take a few breaths and then switch hands. Keep the straps around that mid-waist. Keep sliding your shoulder blades together and push your knees over your ankles as a way to lengthen through your spine. Slowly bring one hand at a time back to the straps. Pull your chin to your chest and slowly walk back up. Take a clearing breath in and out. We're going to do 1 more. This time I'm going to give you the option to lift 1 leg at a time. Only if your hands are on the ground. So allow yourself to build into this variation over time. Take a clearing breath in and out. And let's begin. Feet hips width apart, parallel to one another. Slide those shoulder blades together behind you. Separate your collarbones. Use your hands and lift your chest away from your hips. Begin to walk forward. Walk forward. Push your knees forward over the ankles. Pull your chest away from your hips. It is a push and pull, my friends. You must stay active. Imagine that physio ball behind you. No folding in half. You are arcing. Begin to walk your feet forward more until that floor becomes accessible to you. One hand at a time, bring them down to the ground. If your hands don't touch the ground, keep them on the straps. If your hands are on the ground, option to come with me. You're going to bring your feet together towards the middle of your body. Press down into your left foot. Hug your right knee into your chest. Deep, deep, deep. Now extend your right leg to the sky for 3, 2, 1. Knee to chest. Foot to floor. Good work. We're going to switch sides. Right foot finds the midline of your body. Press into your right foot. Draw your left knee into your chest. Draw, draw, draw. Now extend that left leg up. For 3, press into your hands in one foot. 2, knee to chest. Left foot to floor. Bring your feet hips width apart. One hand at a time, come back to the straps. Pull with your hands, chin to chest. Stand all the way back up. And take that nice clearing breath. Now to seal your practice today, let's do some spinal tractioning. Take those straps, slide them up right underneath your shoulder blades, and lean back. You're going to take your forearms on top of the straps, and now take your forehead to your forearms. Slowly begin to walk your feet forward, just a little bit. And now I want you to push your hips down and back, like you're trying to squat towards the floor behind you. Now the straps around your shoulder blades should create a tractioning and lengthening sensation through your mid-back. It should feel really good. You can start to sway your hips side to side. I always like to tell people to imagine that they're floating in a pool, and the straps are a tube around your waist, keeping your chest and your head above the water. And imagine that the lower body is just floating and swaying below the water. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And you keep swaying and you stay right there. And I want to thank you for joining me today for another TRX for Yoga experience. These back bends are really powerful. They open up the front side of your body and they're exhilarating. They unleash a lot of tightness, a lot of resistance that was hiding in your body, offering you this brand new source of energy. Allow yourself to practice over time. Please always make sure that you have your straps safely in single handle mode. Please continue to do what feels good and makes you smile, and I look forward for another TRX for Yoga experience soon. Thank you so much for joining me.